Hello everyone. For today's presentation, I will cover the health and safety dimension of our project. So in the beginning, let me introduce the previous hazards that were related to Tesla Model 3. One of an iconic feature of Tesla, autopilot raised heated discussion about the safety issues. In the fourth quarter last year, Tesla registered one accident for every 3 million miles driven, which driver has autopilot engaged. For those driving without autopilot but with active safety features, they register one accident for every 2 million miles driven. For those driving without any features, the number is 1.6 millions. So in comparison, NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's most recent data shows that in the US, there is an automobile crash every half million miles. So Tesla car's excellent safety performance is obvious. However, there has been question about if the accidental rate is accurate because Tesla used different statistical methods and only percentage instead of the total number of accidents are provided, and there are evidence that relate high death rate to EVs accidents because of the battery pack. And second type of the accident is related to fire. Tesla's Model 3 electric car caught fire after crashing into a parked truck on a Moscow highway and even exploded afterwards. Also, several Prague Teslas were reported to catch fire and some of them were not even charging before the accident. Luckily, battery on Model 3s use an improved management system with higher reliability compared to previous model. Also, people tend to focus on EV's fire accidents, even they are given the fact that gasoline cars have similar risk. Third type of the hazard happens in the factories. The annual rate of serious injuries, defined as an injury that requires an employee to take time off to recover. At Tesla's plant was 4.9 days per 100 workers. That means a 5% improvement from 2017, but still above the auto industry average of 4.2 days. These injuries include mechanical and chemical types such as hit by mechanical parts. Then, I will focus on the factory and cars to discuss about the related risks. Before that, it is necessary to mention California Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA. Usually, OSHA Act covers private sectors, employers, and their workers. There are also state plans which are OSHA approved job safety and health programs operated by individual states. It specifies the employers should have the responsibility to provide a safe workplace. Also, they must follow all OSHA standards and find and correct safety and health problems. In terms of employees, they need to receive information and training about hazards, methods to prevent harm, and the OSHA standards that apply to the workplace. When it comes to Hong Kong, the Occupational Safety and Health Council was established in 1988. The council is a statutory body for promoting safety and health at work and sustaining the valuable workforce of Hong Kong. The Hong Kong OSF specifies similar responsibilities of employers and workers as well, compared to OSHA. Since Tesla doesn't own any production line in Hong Kong, some of the requirements related to occupational diseases might not be applicable. Tesla plant in Fremont has among the most workers of any U.S. auto plant with more than 50,000 people. Although the CEO envisioned creating the world's most automated assembly lines, instead of being a one of modern automation, the assembly lines that produce Tesla's Model 3s as well as Model S still rely heavily on human workers as ever. With a more competitive environment of EV market, Tesla hopes its newly announced entry-level version of the Model 3 will boost the demand. It is known that reports of strings on Tesla workers coincided with Musk's relentless push in 2019 to produce more Model 3s. Actually, days of training on how to operate the heavy machine without getting hurt is a key to prevent the many assembly lines injuries, have helped improve the safety. In comparison, new hires at Toyota's plant in Kentucky typically undergo a 4-week orientation and training programs. Tesla spent about half of that time, and even that period of time is not guaranteed. And Tesla has been the target of more investigation into workplace safety and has incurred more fines than its competitors. Many U.S. its plants in the past half decade, even though some injured cases were not reported to OSHA. Another risk happens in another factory in China where Tesla decided to reopen on February 10th. By reopening the factory during the massive coronavirus outbreak, Musk values profit over the safety of his workforce in China, and Tesla's behavior is in sharp contrast to other American firms like Apple and Starbucks. These companies have all scaled back operations in China due to the outbreak. The reason is simple, as Elon needs to justify the over-optimistic guidance he just delivered about the production of Model 3. Another risk of reliability of Model 3 occurred as well. The non-profit organization Customer Reports stopped recommendation for the Tesla Model 3 because they have identified a number of problems with the cars, including issues with its body hardware, as well as paint and trim. Now, I'm going to discuss safety culture of Tesla company. It is known that safety in Tesla might not be the top priority compared to the economic return. Another factor is related to the CEO Elon Musk, who is willing to take risks and commending for his employees. Former environment, health, and safety teams members of Tesla mentioned senior managers were afraid to cross Elon Musk. Tesla has created an atmosphere in which few dare to stand up for worker safety. However, Tesla began to realize above issues. For instance, Model 3 has active safety features, such as collision warning and avoidance system, on all the time. Moreover, Tesla is fixing bugs and adds more safety features to the car through over-the-air updates. Because of these efforts, the Tesla Model 3 and Model S regained a customer reports recommendation. The car also scored the highest mark in Europe ENAP safety test. In terms of factory, employment of Lauren Shelby as Tesla's first vice president for environment, health, and safety is a great progress to Tesla. Major work of Shelby is to build a 60-person safety team to monitor Fairmont's 3 assembly lines, began requiring long-time managers to report every safety issues, not just those that result in injuries, and have urged employees to identify potential hazards. The data has shown that Tesla is at industrial average in terms of incident rate afterwards. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your listening.